Okay, here's a little addendum to the last video. I showed this little pulse motor running with this Felte solar, or not solar, a thermoelectric module. That's also called a TIG, T-E-G, thermoelectric generator. And if you run a Felte backwards, it generates electricity. If you put electricity into it, it generates cold and hot. But a TIG, a real TIG, thermoelectric generator, the design of this chip is different. And I got this, I believe, on eBay, and it was advertised as a TIG. But I don't really know if that's a real TIG or not, or just a plain old Felte module. But I wanted to show another couple things here. People may have thought that I was running this pulse motor on this capacitor, but that is a gosh, I wish this would focus. That's 1,000 microfarad. I think it's 16 volt. 16 volt 1,000. That's not a supercapacitor. It's just a capacitor to store up the energy between the pulses. You don't need it with this thing. So I just wanted to show that this is not required. Now, the radio is just to hear the reed switch when it snaps open and closed. It makes a little spark that the radio picks up on. It has nothing to do with the running of the motor. And if I spin this a little bit, you're going to hear a slight tick, tick, tick until I put my hand on this. Now it starts running. And that's the differential between 98.6 and about 72 degrees. I checked the temperature. That's what this is at, about 72 degrees. And that's how quickly this thing will start going. Now, the other thing I did was I showed that if you put a higher temperature on one side that's still not that high, it'll still work. Not very well. If you differentiate it with cold, it works really good. Now here's something else I just figured out. This sitting here on the countertop makes this point right here on the countertop cold. So if I just move this whole thing over here to where this is cold, I don't even need the ice. The countertop's now cold. And this countertop is like an energy storage unit, where it's taken the cold out of this, and because it was sitting on this countertop, now it's made the countertop cold. And I'm differentiating the warm water, which is probably, I don't know, 100 degrees maybe. I don't know what bath water is at, but that's just warm water differentiated between the cold on this countertop. And this raises another question. Is energy storage using a mass? And it's just like my floor here. That floor down there is concrete, and that is storing a lot of energy. Here again, this is what you're hearing here is the radio. Is the reed switch right down there. Now, this pulse motor, what was unique about it was it uses a coil between two rotors that had 4 magnets on it. The magnets have the same pole pointing toward the no, they're opposite. I'm sorry, they're opposite. One's north, one's south, and they pull toward that. And then the coil, of course, is set up in a way that it pushes on the two rotors using the reed switch as it goes by. Now here's another thing that's really interesting, is this thing works opposite. And this is something Granddad was working with, is the Felte modules, or these TIGs. You can turn them over, and this will run the other direction. Now see the way this is going is around like this? Now I'm going to reverse the polarity on this thing. This is going to slow down. Now I'm going to run it the other way. And that's because I've reversed the polarity on the thermoelectric generator. Of course, that takes a while for that to do its thing down there, but very, very interesting little study on using a thermoelectric generator, which, by the way, the rover on Mars right now, the latest one I believe, they have gone away from solar and they've gone to the thermoelectric generator idea, and they're using an atomic generation for the heat to work the thermoelectric generator, which has a really low deterioration rate over the course of time. And that's how they're making the electricity on the Mars rover, the big one that's up there right now. Uses a thermoelectric generator with heat generated from an atomic decay. So anyway, this is what I'm working on right now, is this very efficient motor, or way to use the energy from this coupled with the Peltier modules. Thanks for watching.